What's up, Buttercup? In today's video, I'm doing something a little different. Painting time lapses are some of my favorite videos to watch. I find them so relaxing, and I love listening to the artist's thoughts as they create. So sit back and enjoy watching my painting process while I ramble and share some thoughts and some things I've learned from these sketches. So my goal with these sketches was simply to get more comfortable using watercolor. It's a new medium for me, so I decided to paint an hour-long sketch each day for a week. And I kept it consistent and was just painting simple portraits because I find it can be difficult to gauge my progression if I'm painting a lot of random different things. So if I paint a face and then an animal and then a tree and then a building, it's kind of hard to see if my skills are actually improved or if the subject matter is what's making one painting look so much better than the other. So I wanted to, just paint a sketch every day. And an important thing that I always try to do is analyze at the end of one sketch what I want to improve and then specifically focus on that for the next one. So that's what you'll kind of see in this video. For this first sketch here, well, first I just want to point out a little tip that helps me that I've kind of recently learned, where it's really daunting for me to start a painting when it's just a white canvas or a white piece of paper staring back at me. So I recently learned about underpainting. Well, when I do different mediums, let's say acrylic, I'll start by painting a medium value and covering the whole canvas because I find it's easier to build form starting with a middle value and then being able to add lighter and darker values rather than just starting with a base white. But what's a little different about watercolor is you can't add lighter values. The lighter values come from the absence of paint. So for this, you'll notice I just do a really light wash of a desaturated paint, and honestly, it just makes it a lot easier for me to start. But that is a little tip that I have learned. And my biggest kind of gripe with watercolor, just something that I find so difficult that you will continue to see, is being able to build up darker values and have smooth blends. I find that sometimes my colors will blend so beautifully and then I'll think I'm doing the exact same technique for a different brushstroke and it turns out completely differently and doesn't blend at all. And I still haven't quite found why that is and why sometimes I get beautiful blends and sometimes I don't at all. And yeah, so for this next sketch that I'm doing here, I wanted to focus on adding darker values because the sketch I did before, that was kind of my ending analyzing moment, was I liked the colors, but I didn't like the values. I felt like there wasn't a lot of contrast. So then in this sketch here, I'm really trying to kind of layer up and build darker values on the left side of this woman's face. But you'll notice that the blends are just, they're not it. Another thing that this kind of taught me was if I'm doing a study that I know the goal is simply to learn and to practice, and it's not something that I'm really gonna post or share, I am so quick to give up, like right in the middle of the painting, because every painting has such an ugly phase, or probably many ugly phases. And a big takeaway I've had from this is, even if I finish the painting and I don't like it just as much as I did starting in the middle or stopping in the middle for that matter, I will always learn more from actually finishing it and pushing through the ugly phase. So that's definitely what I did with this painting. I am not happy with it whatsoever, but I made myself kind of push through the ugly phase. And, it ended up turning out not as bad as I thought, but it's definitely still not something I'm super happy with. But something I like to remind myself when I do these studies is the goal is not a beautiful painting. Like the goal for me at the end is simply to learn something and to feel like I have improved in some way. And I think with both of these sketches, I did that. So even though I don't like how either of them turned out, I do like that I put in the time to try to better the skill at learning this new medium. And yeah, those are kind of my takeaways. Let me know if you like this style of video, because I do. Thanks for watching and listening to me ramble. Have a beautiful rest of your day.